Okay, so we probably have a connection to the database now. And I say probably because one of the things that's a little unusual about MongoDB is it doesn't actually connect to the database until you do something that either fetches data or stores data. So something that actually alters the contents of the database. That's when you'll find out if you have a connection problem. So we'll get there soon enough. But in the meantime, I know one of these things that's a default is kind of problematic. So I mentioned before that it used my IP address for something, and you probably don't have a static IP address. So these little pop-ups here, it's telling me what it did. And I could have read them before I closed them, but where's the fun in that? So some of these things in this nav bar are actually really handy. So the first thing is this database here actually shows you your cluster, and you can browse collections to actually see what documents you have stored. So if we write some documents to a collection, we can look at them in the browser to make sure that they're good. And then this connect button takes you back to where we just were with instructions on how to connect to your database in a variety of different languages. So like this is the how to connect from Python, but there's also how to connect using a data explorer, or Compass is a standalone application that you can use to interact with the database. Or there's a library that you can install that will let you just type commands right in your command prompt and it will show results and so on. So Compass in particular I found useful in the past, but mostly I just do what I need from Python. Um, Good to know that that's there. And the other thing I wanted to direct your attention to is under access here, database access and network access. So this network access, this is where I put your IP address. So you'll notice mine's configured IP address. It will accept connections from my machine, and comment default was created as part of the auto setup process, and I can edit that. And like I said, yours is probably going to change, so this is probably not as useful for you. So what I recommend doing is there's an empty mask 0.0.0.0/0. That's basically magic for allowing connections from any machine on the internet, so that when your IP address changes, this will continue to work, and I will also be able to connect your database. So then allow any access. And then if you choose not to go that route, if you want to keep it locked up, then I would like you to also add an IP address. And then my IP address, what is my IP address? So there are sites on the internet where if you visit the page, it will tell you what IP address you're using to access it. And you probably want this IPv4. So this is mine right now. It's actually the IP address of my router, but I have it redirected. So go ahead and enter that, and then comment, this is Mark's IP address. So you only need to do that if you're not allowing access from 0.0.0.0. Okay. So I think that's everything we need right now. I don't think this database. Oh, I did want to change one other thing. So this page here allows you to create users with different roles. And right now I'm just going to use this playlist manager that I created during setup. Okay, so let's go back here. And actually I got an error on the connection because I interrupted the program. All right, so I have a connection. So the way this works is once you have a connection, the first thing that you can do is create a database or attach to an existing database. So this will either make a new one or attach to an existing one. And the way you do that is you say cls.database equals the connection dot and then the name of the database. So so I want to name my app, and I'm going to call it Music Box because I like it. So I'm going to call the database Music Box, and that's all you need to do. So basically, what MongoDB does is it overloads this dot operator. So there's a dunder method for handling this dot, and what they've done is they've implemented a special meaning for dot on a connection object on a client, Mongo client, that this is going to refer to a database, and if it doesn't already exist, it makes one. And then if you want to get a collection, you can do the same thing with the database object. So we can say, I want to have a collection for videos, and that's going to include both music videos and performance videos, and also a collection for playlists. I think I'm okay with this. I'm just thinking about whether I want to call it videos collection or playlist collection, but it's the only thing that I'm actually going to have in here, so I don't think I need to specify that it's a collection. Yeah, maybe I do. Videos collection. Better safe than sorry. And then this is playlists collection. All right, so I have my database, and then we're going to do cls.videos collection is cls.database.videos. And then I use upper camel case for this. And then it's plural because it's going to be a collection of videos, video documents. And then this one is going to be playlist collection is cls.database.playlists. And once again, that's going to be a collection of playlist objects. So those are my collections. And then I don't really have to do anything else just yet. All right, so let's run it. And then what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to print all of this stuff, just to make sure that it looks like it's working correctly. So client is going to be cls.connection, and database is cls.database, and videos is going to be cls.videos collection, and playlists is going to be cls.playlists collection. All right, so let's go ahead and run it and see what I get. So I'm running database, and then this one I need to get rid of. So I have a Mongo client object for the client, and I have a Mongo database for the database, and I have a collection for videos, and then playlists didn't work. So let's take a look at what happened there. Oh, so I'm missing an underscore. So let's run it now. This is why we test. Okay, so two collections, one for, and if you scroll to the end here, you can see one is Music Box database with videos and Music Box database with playlists collection. All right, so that part's working.